Episode 5 of Hell's Paradise is the most instant karma one could ask for when you have a man named Genji telling this character Sagiri to more or less go back to the kitchen. We are in a time of samurai, and samurai women, they just don't mesh. What they're supposed to do is go marry samurai, have their kids, and basically he told this woman to go back to the kitchen. And by the end of the episode, after she humiliates him by stealing his sword, proving her skills and worth as a samurai, Big Boy comes in and does the best sideswipe I've ever seen. There's no way he recovers from that, but the fact that half of his stomach gets instant shredded after basically being upset that a woman had any desire to be on the battlefield was one of the most instant gratification moments I've seen in this show, and it was fantastic. Full live reaction available on my Patreon if you do want to see my full uncut thoughts. That moment shook me, man. Like, I thought, yeah, they might have like a battle we'd build into them, maybe clashing swords. We'd come into next episode, and yeah, obviously something would happen that would put a stop to the fight. Maybe Gabi Maru, maybe her own skills, but the fact that the man who completely shattered his prison warden, who basically got completely annihilated in the prior episode, the fact that he comes in, doesn't say a word, just completely sideswipes, I mean, you ain't recovering from that. If somehow you found a way to recover from that, like, at that point, you're probably the elixir of life yourself, and you should just be drinking his blood. But man, this episode, it was heat. There was some great action, but this was a very character-focused, plot-focused episode. We get introduced to some newer characters in terms of who I thought was this boy, turns out to be a girl who lost her entire village after helping these samurai come to her village, is trying to be a good person and gets your entire village wiped out. I mean, no wonder you want to die. They pretty much introduced the Kraken, which says, hey, it's not even just the island we have to worry about, it's the trip back home. There's probably a pathway that allows you to get safely, given that some boats have returned with basically the cargo of the flowerified bodies, but I mean, it's just not great. You gotta find the elixir of life, you probably gotta find a map that tells you how to get off the island, and once you get off the island, potentially, I mean, they're probably gonna kill you for the elixir of life. There's just no winning in this situation, and it really lives up to the name, Hell's Paradise. And at one point in this episode, it's even brought up, like, how do we know we're not already dead and this is our afterlife? Because seriously, the amount of things they've seen over such a short amount of time, it would have anyone questioning if they're in hell. In terms of, like, my favorite moment outside of the amazing, shocking ending, had to be the introduction of Sanka. In terms of, I thought they said Santa. I mean, it was bad enough that after I misread the subtitles as Santa, they literally show her grandfather who looked like Santa. But I love the fact that you basically had this, like, kind of separated village that didn't want to live by, like, the Shogun's rules and things like that. And in doing so, you know, you're just a naturally nice person. Oh, you need help? I'll take you to my village. They just slaughter everyone and then they take her. It's no wonder that someone's like, I don't see the point in killing an innocent kid, all things considered. This is your option out. This is the best I can offer you. And to see someone completely give up on living in the middle of a life or death Kraken fight, every time I've seen some sort of giant octopus or Kraken-like creature, they are generally frightening just because of the scale. Like, it's like a giant octopus arm. They got the suction cups, like they're gonna rip your face off. But they made it, I would say, probably the most frightening thing I've seen in terms of this type of design, because we didn't see the face, we didn't see the big body. All we saw was dozens upon dozens of arms, but they decided to give it almost like parasitic design. So like on the suction cups, there'd be like these worm tentacle things coming out of it. And that made it far more disturbing than if it was just a bunch of arms slapping the destroyed boats. And honestly, I was fully convinced that only one of them would get out of that situation. Because when they come out of the shore all covered in blood, I was like, oh man, like honestly, at one point, like one of the arms like attaches to the guy and just, I know they said that it's only the butterflies they have to worry about. If they sting you, then basically that will turn you into the monsters. But at the same time, are you willing to put your life on the line to be attacked by anything on this island without the fear of potentially turning into something? Like, we literally see faces like within like the water in terms of like these tentacle, like bubbly boil looking creatures. I don't know, it was disturbing, but like, I don't know, anytime a character gets hit by anything on this island, I'm going to be fearful that who knows what it could do to their biological functions in terms of, are they going to get corrupted, are they going to get poisoned? But They made it out, and man, like, just when you're, like, I don't even trust them getting covered by the blood of these creatures. Who knows what it could do to you? But I thought it was a really cool story, because what they're doing a great job at is they're giving everyone a different motivation. Some seem like psychopaths, some seem like were dealt a bad hand and labeled a criminal and didn't deserve it, and others like Gabimaru were raised to be the most emotionless killer and is fighting to stay in that mindset or go to his wife's mindset of you can be a person. And I love the fact that for a show that's all about two different characters, like they are the star attraction. In my opinion, Gabimaru and Sagiri are the star attractions in terms of characterization. You have a woman who isn't supposed to be a samurai, is supposed to marry one, bear their kids, and basically do her wifely duties. And basically she has two options. She can go marry someone and be regarded in a poor manner from a large group of people, or she can follow the path that she wants to walk down and be regarded as a failure from her family. There's a no-win situation there. And then you have Gabimaru, who is raised as an emotionless killer, and then the daughter of the man who trained him as such is saying there's a way to live as a human. And both of these characters are bringing out, I would say, the best in each other. If Gabimaru or Sagiri were left alone to deal with this island, they either wouldn't make it, and if they did, they wouldn't evolve into a better version of themselves. Gabimaru is slowly coming out of his shell and is willing to protect and be better than just an emotionless killer because of her. And because of his own determination and putting aside and protecting her, he's also showing her that maybe there's other ways to live, and they're both equally helping the other. Gabimaru fully is convinced she's stronger than him, but when she looks at him, you know, she says the same thing, like, how could you think I'm the strong one when you're clearly way more impressive than me? I love what they're doing with those two characters. Over such a short amount of time, you really felt like you've gotten to know both of them and their internal struggles and how, like, this world is forcing them to try to be a certain way, but both of them want to be the complete opposite of how the world's telling them to act and operate, right? And I mean, I completely understand why a character like Genji is the way he is. It is the time period. I mean, women samurai and just everything like that, that is the way, right? I mean, she was lucky enough to have a father that allowed her to at least practice the sword, but he always encouraged her to stop because that is just the way the world was, right? So to have her, like, really be pushed back against, I mean, it's no wonder why he's upset with her. And then when she disrespects from his point of view, you know, stealing his sword, it's just basically the ultimate level of disrespect. I love the fact that he got sideswiped. I think people like that should get sideswiped, but you understand the perspective because that's how this type of culture operates. The same reason why they would slaughter an entire village for not bowing and bending the knee to someone who says they want to rule over you. It's just the way it is. But it ain't right. Hell's Paradise has proven that it is more than just an action-oriented show. The action, while engaging and we're always looking forward to the next battle, is incredible. They do good world building, like the concept of we shouldn't ask about what the religious meaning behind these sculptures are. We should ask, is the technology to build said sculptures here? And if so, who used said technology to make it? Those little moments add to a world building that really is unlike anything else. Like, yeah, I get my Attack on Titan vibes, but Hell's Paradise is Hell's Paradise through and through, and I love it. Thoughts and feelings yourself down below. Drop a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here. Also be sure to ring that bell so you can get notified when I upload on the channel. And like I mentioned, we do have a full live reaction available on my Patreon, and while you're there, you can also get a video shoutout. So today we have Xeno, Harry Truscott, and Yuki Ali. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care and have a good one.